Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So story number 72, and the title is Judgment of Dawood and Sulaiman. Judgment of Dawood alayhi salam and Sulaiman alayhi salam. Dawood alayhi salam was the father and Sulaiman alayhi salam was the son. And both of them were Allah's messengers, and both of them were rulers. And as a ruler, they used to judge about the affairs of their people. And this story is about a judgment. And from this story, the learning focus is about the judgment and the importance of fair judgment according to Islam. These two prophets, father and son, also an ideal example for all the rulers in this earth. What's the example? That these two messengers of Allah, they were rulers and they were pious, they were righteous. But their power could not make them arrogant. Their power could not make them tyrant. Their power could not make them corrupt. Their power could not make them unfair. Their power could not make them unjust. Why? Because they were God-fearing. They were righteous, pious rulers. And if in this heart, if rulers take them as model, as example, then they can also be fair, and they can, through their leadership, through their ruling, they can make this art, the art of Allah, the mankind of Allah, they can make it a peaceful place, a happy place. That is why fair judgment in any country, any community, or in any family is the most fundamental element for peace, rights and responsibilities. The most fundamental piece of element for happiness in anywhere. If a family has no fair judgment, that family is like a jungle, like a cancerous, chaotic place. If a country has no fair judgment, no fair ruling, no proper fair law and order, then that country is worse than a jungle. Might is right, violations of human rights, anything can do, can be done by anyone as long as they have power. Islam, Quran is teaching that the fair judgment is very important, and this story is about that focus. So let us begin with the example story of judgment of Dawood and Sulaiman alayhi salam. We start from a chapter in Holy Quran, chapter 21 and verse 78. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَدَاوُودَ وَسُلَيْمَانَ. And remember Dawood and Sulaiman. إِذْ يَحْكُمَانِ فِي الْحَرْثِ. When they judged in the matter of the field, of the cornfield. No, was not a cornfield, it was a grapevine orchard. So it was a grapevine orchard. إذ نفشت فيه غنم القوم. And in that orchard, the sheep of certain people entered by the night. And that case came to Dawood alayhi salam. وَكُنَّا لِحُكْمِهِمْ شَاهِدِينَ. And Allah says, we did witness their judgment. We did witness their judgment. So what happened? The background story is, there was a grape orchard. And it was night. And some sheep or goat, they came inside and they ate all the plants, leaves, grapes. Next day, the owner took the case to the court of Dawood alayhi salam. Dawood alayhi salam called the owner of the sheep or goat and listened to both sides. And Dawood alayhi salam gave a decision that the compensation for this damage should be given by the sheep owner or sheep or goat owner. So the compensation would be, the owner of the sheep will give all his sheep to the owner of the grape orchard. The goat owner or the sheep owner, he left all his herds, his goats, and returned with dogs only. On the way he found Sulaiman alayhi salam, the son of Dawood alayhi salam. Sulaiman alayhi salam found out about the story, and he said that if I was given the chance, I could have given different judgment. So the matter went to Dawood alayhi salam again. So he called his son. So nice and humble and wise father. Didn't tell his son off that you are my son. What do you know? Do you know better than me? Some parents, they argue like this foolishly with their children. They argue like this and they take the matter into extreme. They do not leave any room. For example, a father would say, do you think you know better than me? So pushing the child into corner, making the child agitated and angry. What if out of anger the child say, yes, I know this one better, then get out. So that's how they take the matter into extreme. From Dawood alayhi salam and Sulaiman alayhi salam, as a parent and children, we have a lot to learn. Sulaiman alayhi salam, being a son, being younger, he was respectful, he was polite, and he was also not shy or afraid to contribute what he thought was best. And this is what we all should do. Even if our parents, they have great ideas, good experience, but if we feel that something we can contribute, we should not be hindered and we should not feel shy. We should politely, we should contribute our ideas. And also like Dawood alayhi salam, as a parent we should be open to the ideas. We should also encourage our children to think, to come up with ideas. We should appreciate them, encourage them, and if they come up with best ideas, we should listen to them. There should not be any ego problem. And this is what we learn from Dawood alayhi salam and Sulaiman alayhi salam as parents and as children. So the humble father is saying, "Oh my son, what would be your judgment?" And the son, now he gives his decision. He says that I think the grape owner, the grape orchard owner, he will take these sheep now, but not forever. Now, so that he can take the milk and he can also use the baby goats. That will be all his, except the ownership of the main goat or main sheep. In the meantime, the sheep owner, he will work hard to this grape orchard, to bring the grape orchard into its original state as it was. And when it will come into its state, then again they will do the swapping. The grape orchard owner, he will take his grape orchard back, and the sheep owner will get his sheep back. And that will be a way that no one is going to be deprived. Grape orchard owner, he will get his grape orchard back, and the poor sheep owner, he will get his sheep back. And that judgment was more balanced. That was more balanced. The humble father, he learned from his son. Without any pride, without any ego, he accepted it. Because both of them have one goal. Both of them have one effort. Both of them had one mission, and that mission was to get the fair justice done. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Sulaiman alayhi salam's contribution. فَفَهَّمْنَاهَا Sulaiman. Allah said, we made Sulaiman understand of the complex matters. And that happens even in the same family. Sometimes a daughter is more experienced about a particular issue than the mother. A son is maybe more expert in another particular issue than the father. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give everybody same talent. Allah gives unique talent to each one of us. Each one of us, we are very good at something, and we are ignorant about other things. That is why the knowledge is bainan nas, among the people the knowledge. If we give up our ego and if we start learning from one another, like Dawood alayhi salam and Sulaiman alayhi salam, then we will progress. We will progress. So Allah said that we made Sulaiman alayhi salam understand the complex matters, very subtle things about the fair judgment. Very subtle things. وَكُلًّا آتَيْنَا حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. But Allah said, but both Dawood alayhi salam and Sulaiman alayhi salam, Allah said we gave judgment and knowledge. We gave them wisdom and we gave them knowledge. From this judgment, I would like to add a couple of things, that in Islam the fair judgment is so important. And that's why Allah is putting this judgment thing in Holy Quran. According to the scholar Hassan Basri rahmatullah alayhi, he said that to the judges Allah has given 3 commands, 3 orders. The first order is that they should judge according to Allah's law. They should not sell the fairness in their judgment for little selfish gain, like bribe, like favoritism, etc. etc. For example, Allah said in Quran in chapter 5, verse 44, وَلَا تَشْتَرُوا بِآيَاتِي سَمَنًا قَلِيلًا. Do not sell my verses, my laws, my commands for a little price. So the first command to the judges from Allah is they should judge according to Allah's law, according to fair law. The second command from Allah is that they should not follow their own selfish desire in fair judgment, because then the judgment will be corrupt. It will become unfair. For example, in Holy Quran, in chapter 38, verse 26, Allah has commanded Dawood alayhi salam, Ya Dawood, O Dawood alayhi salam, Inna ja'alnaka khalifatan fil ard. We have made you a ruler in the earth. Fahkum bayna an-nasi bil haqq. So make a judgment between people with truth, with fairness. Wala tattabi'il hawa. And do not follow your own selfish desire for the judgment. فَيُضِلَّكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. If you follow your selfish desire, then you will be away from the guidance of Allah, and you will be in trouble. So the second command to the rulers from Allah is they should not follow their own selfish desire in their judgment. The third command is do not fear anyone but Allah, making the fair judgment. For example, in Quran, chapter 5, verse 44, Allah says, فَلَا تَخْشَوُا النَّاسَ وَخْشَوُونَ. Don't fear people, fear me. In other words, that when you are going to give fair judgment, the criminals will not like you. The corrupt ones will try to put pressure on you. Sometimes you will receive life threat. Sometimes they will pressure you through the authorities. They will make you scared that, if you don't give this word in our favor, we will make sure you are not going to get your promotion. Things like this. So Allah is ordering the rulers, fear me and be fair. Don't fear bad people. Also, from another hadith we find that there are 3 kinds of judges, and Prophet ﷺ said that 2 kinds of judges will end up in the hellfire, and 1 kind of judge, they will end up in paradise. Very interesting. 1 kind of judge, so let us now see that who will be in the paradise. The judge who has ability and experience and fit to be a judge, and he or she uses all these ability truthfully, fairly. That judge is sincere, unbiased, has the required knowledge and experience, and uses the knowledge and experience fairly, unbiasedly, truthfully to get to the bottom of the matter. In case they come up with a wrong judgment, Allah will give them one reward because they tried. From their part, no mistake. Maybe the witness told a lie, witness was lying, or maybe an evidence was produced wrong, and humanly the judge could not find that. So this is not the judge's mistake. But as far as the judge concerned, he or she used every capacity and ability fairly and truthfully. Even though the judgment is wrong, still Allah will give one reward. But if the judgment is spot on, Allah will give double reward. Now, two other types who will end up in hellfire. Who are they? One of them is that they are not fit to be judge. Not fit to be a judge. And sometimes it happens. You are belong to a party, and that party is the government now, and through lobbying you are not actually well knowledgeable in judgment or not well experienced, but you get the job. Or sometimes some community, because in the community some ruffians, some hooligans, they are macho people, they have guns and they have power, and by force they become the leader and they start judging. They are not fit to be. They do not have proper requirement. Or sometimes you can see even some countries, the military government, the military general, who is very experienced in leading a war, but becomes ambitious, and by gun they take over the president position or prime minister position. They become the chief of the state. And then they start giving judgment about this and that and that. Maybe not having enough knowledge or experience. So wrong person into the wrong job. So this kind of judges, if judge does not mean only being a judge in the court. Judge can mean any step, any area of the society where you are making decision for others. And if you are making wrong decisions for others, then for your wrong and unfair decisions, the whole community will suffer. That's why judgment and judging is a very responsible things in the court of Allah. So, if a judge is judging or into the position of judgment without proper knowledge and experience, you can say in a crude language, an ignorant judge. Then that kind of ignorant judge, according to Hadith, will go to hellfire. Why? Because they are abusing such responsible and honorable thing, and they are making mess. For their mess, the whole society will suffer. Another kind of judges who will end up in the hellfire, they are knowledgeable, experienced, fit, they know everything. Yet they are selfish, greedy, they take bribe, and by taking bribe, they will give a judgment, they will make right the wrong and wrong right. And for their greed and selfishness, they can make some family suffer, some group suffer, just for their greed and for some money. They sell their fairness for the bribe or for the promotion, for this and for that. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from giving any wrong judgment, whatever capacity we have. And also may Allah give us the wisdom not to force ourselves into a position where we are not fit for. We should follow a limit, and we should follow the humbleness. And we should always be fearful about the actions we do. Because if we do anything unfair, most particularly any unfair judgment, then all the unhappy consequences, it is coming to the people who are involved. They will seek compensation from me. Because of my decision, my judgment, they have suffered. May Allah save us from that kind of unfairness. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.